Well, hello, folks. Top Gun here, and I got a live one for you tonight. That's right. I'm going to try this style a little bit more of going live more often, see what kind of engagement I can get. I see I've got one person in the audience. Thank you for being here. All right, so a lot has been going on this week, right? A lot has been going on this week. So the market is crashing. Everything is on fire. You know what? Maybe. Hopefully, I don't get too much noise disruption tonight. Anyways, yeah, it's been quite a time in the markets. We've had the Eth Fork. We've had all sorts of chaos and pandemonium with Hex. We've had Powell coming out and finally being Dark Powell. And everyone's kind of waking up and going, wait, the Fed's interest rates affect my crypto. Yeah, so I'm not the only one talking about it anymore. So yeah, doing this engagement, trying to get live in touch with my audience because I don't know what to talk about necessarily. This gives you guys a good chance to talk to me, ask some questions, pick my brain, maybe let me know if it's such a bear market, I should just stop making content. Nobody's watching. Wahaha. I don't know. Man, it is some scary times, but this is exactly where it's approaching to. We're getting closer to the bottom. I'm saving my dry powder, and I'm getting excited for a bottom coming in. I've ended up talking about price so much, though, and I never wanted to be the price guy. Price speculation is not what I wanted to do. Just happens to be a handy function of mathematics. I do quite enjoy this community, though. Everything it presents me, because crypto has been so much more than just investing in prices. Shmita time. Yeah, that's what I've heard everywhere. I should probably just let loose and start joking. Like, oh well, whole world's on fire. What can you do? Putin's finally threatening to drop nukes. Very clearly the media is discussing it, and he's not talking Ukraine either. Oh my. All I can think is duck and cover. I put that out all over Twitter. That's all I can think. There's enough going on with the wall of worry. There's not much we can do if things actually went that way. Unless you've got yourself a bomb bunker built. I don't think so. I don't got one built. I've been too busy buying Hex. Why? Anyways, no, I do not think the crazy tycoon is out there to end the world. And if he is, there's nothing we can do about it. So might as well keep living our lives minus that one. But yeah, Powell has come out and pretty much confirmed, yes, it is time to kill the market. The market must die. We will bring pain to the market. He has pretty much announced that, yeah, we're bringing pain. He's made it very, very clear. Lots of boring language, but basically what he's looking for is an increase in unemployment, a decrease in the GDP, and a decrease in inflation, aka a recession. Without anything shy of that, he's not turning that boat around. The Fed pivot is dead. However, the irony of things, the dollar is having a fight. And why is it fighting? Don't fight the Fed. Well, Japan, with the devaluing of its currency, is actually ditching bonds. And that is creating a currency war. Why should you care? It's crypto. I know, guys. This stuff matters. It really does. So if the dollar starts going down because Japan is devaluing, it's selling bonds, it also causes the treasury yields to go up. And this is fun because as the dollar goes down, the algos like to respond by buying assets, which means buying Apple, which means bumping the SPX and the NASDAQ, which means affecting the ETFs that rise all boats, which means affecting Grayscale, which means affecting Bitcoin. Whoa, yes, it all connects. So it actually does matter. That's why I go on about this stuff quite regularly, because I got curious, where the heck is this correlation coming from? And the dominoes have gotten very, very clear to me, the way that they're connected. So with Japan fighting the Fed right now with trying to back their own currency and ditching treasuries, you're getting even more chaotic action because, yeah, every time the dollar goes down, well, algorithmically, let's buy stocks. But every time treasury yields go up, well, I should sell stocks. So contrarian indicators arguing with each other because everything's so broken. Good news meant bad news, and bad news meant good news for the stock market for so long. Now it's just like all bad news. Are we going down for the good reasons, or are we going down for the bad reasons? Oh my. Oh me, oh my. I'm glad I'm strapped in for this roller coaster ride because it is up and down. Oh my. I got into crypto at probably the worst time ever. And coincidentally and paradoxically, the best time ever. The lessons I have been learning in this bear market. Thank you, Nate Dog. Oh yeah, maybe I should shout out some comments here. But the lessons I have been learning in this bear market have been priceless because I have not gone completely broke in this bear market. So that's epic winning. And when it turns around and actually does become a bull market again, wow, will I be prepared? And hopefully all of you guys are learning a thing or two and will be prepared as well. Hopefully able to spot some bottoms. Why is no one buying I am? It is a small no-name project. Nobody has the faith. Nobody knows KG like we do. I believe in the guy. That's a personal decision. You got to make that one for yourself. However, he's really hard to wrangle down for a show. I will say that. But I believe in the guy. I believe in the programming they're doing. I believe the guy has what it takes to make a good crypto. That just means more accumulation time for us. I'm enjoying it because people will be buying it soon enough. So I enjoy all the DCA time I'm getting. Thank you, Hexagon Greenhorn. I may just have to close my window because this sounds like somebody is literally driving up and down my street to do this to me on purpose. Oh my. All right. What we got here? Oh yeah. That's my own. Shmita time. G-Unit. G-Unit. All right. Nate Dog. Yo, Top Gun. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. I love being basic cable here. Marlene's World's basic cable. 6 viewers. I'm actually kind of proud of that. I'm happy. Don't hit that like. Don't hit subscribe and don't share it. I'm camera shy. If I get too many followers, I might have to stop making content. No, you guys have been awesome. Like some of you guys have stuck around so hardcore to actually see all of my content and actually keep talking to me on Twitter, even when the world's burning. Can't even call you guys fans or followers. Some of you are actually really becoming friends. I know. I'm just a troll under a bridge that goes under a pseudonym. I don't even show you my eyeballs. And it's a shame. I have such funny eye expressions. The faces I make behind these sunglasses, and you guys have no idea. It's great. One day these glasses will come off. One day. But that day is not today. Whew. All right. G-Unit. My first bear market. My only complaint is a lack of content. Been waiting for this one. It's all Maxi, Hedron, and so on. Yeah, you know what? Maxi and Hedron are actually pretty decent. And I know, this is basically bear market boredom. I mean, I set a bit of an example when I started being Mr. Altcoin, when I started my show. But what it was these are supporting utility protocols that surround Pulse Chain. They have useful functions people will actually want to pay to use. This means they will generate revenue. And then they use their token to award that revenue to the holders. Gee, sounds suspiciously like a replacement to the financial system, financial markets, a new free market governed by the people for the people. Why, thank you, Richard. Thank you, Pulse Chain. Thank you, everyone building around it to make it awesome. Now, there's a lot of other shiny little tokens that are appearing, some of them shinier than others. And some of them, like, who am I to criticize what's good and what's bad? I mean, if I were around at the time, I would have been screaming at Dogcoin saying that will never get anywhere. And, whew, well, look at that joke go. So, shows what I know. Really, when it comes to all these like other projects, Hedron and Icosa actually adds a bunch of fundamentals to Hex with the HSI staking. Love it. Really gotta love it. I mean, it amplifies Hex's usefulness. Maxi shows another way to build on Hex. Maybe not the best, but a pretty good one that helps dilute the end stake share, possibly. Or basically, like, you may not even have to participate in it. One person might cover it for everyone. Like, wow. All right, that's some interesting stuff. So I'm glad to see the building, but I do wish people had more patience to just waste for Pulse Chain. But I mean, it is a crazy, crazy time in the world of crypto and financial markets. So yeah, I pretty much, this one's open, guys. You tell me what you want the content to be. Do you want me to talk about the ETH forks? Do you want me to talk about their meaning with Pulse Chain? Do you want me to just rant at you some life philosophies? I don't know. Sometimes I prefer trying to like just pretend like, hey guys, I'm a simpleton. Don't worry about me. Yeah, I love when people underestimate me. It's great. It really is great because people don't expect too much from me. People don't ask for too much from me, and people never see me coming. Love that one. Love when people underestimate me because I'm not always necessarily the smartest person in the room. I am sneaky though. I will never lie to you guys. I will never lie to you guys. It's not funding them, just it's every stream, bro. Oh, well, I guess, yeah, most content creators, yeah, they're going on about what gets engagement, what's getting the views. Me, I've got 10 people in the audience. I'm quite content with that. That's why my titles don't have to be all engaging. It's like, yeah, you want to come hear me talk or you don't. You've heard me talk before. And, sometimes I drop some wisdom bombs. You also know sometimes I'm kind of naive and I need some learning from you guys. So I appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, I will talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. ETH Fork is good content. A lot of people are interested in the ETH Forks. KG, I got to say, has been doing a lot of good content if you want to go in and play. However, shout out to Crypto Coffee Crypto. Why am I going dyslexic on that one right now? Crypto Coffee. Yes. And Johnny Chaos for raiding my closet. Video evidence, go back and check, I think, my live stream from last week and my lumberjacking jacket. He was wearing it. It's missing from my closet. Johnny, not cool. You could have just asked to borrow it. You didn't have to steal it. No, they shouted me out today, which is nice, about Bitcoin death because of proof of work systems. Very, very important in my line of thinking. So we've got, in my line of thinking, thrown together chains. Fair, I don't think has long to live. I think it's on life support. I think, do not quote me on this, I think it's what's left of the census community branching off. Now, proof of work, that one has at least got some musta, but apparently, according to Crypto Coffee, they've lost 90% of their miners. They're down to just 10% of what they had pre-fork. So a lot of people have already abandoned ship and gone to look to do other projects. So the hash rate has significantly slowed. However, the chain is still fighting and kicking along. So when these forks happened, they're as simple as a copy of the system state where it was. And there have been lots of forks that I haven't seen, but I've heard about how rarely they're successful. So with the two of these, I think fair is a write-off. But I mean, if you want to go play there and throw $50 in and you're not breaking the bank and you're not ending your stakes, what do I care? You're not really hurting my hex back price. You're doing wonders for it, in my opinion. I may even, just as a principle, like sacrificing for the statement of something, because I got into the sacrificing enough that I actually kind of believed in it. Like I will put money to something because I want to see what they're going to build, regardless of whether or not I expect any profits, because I think down the road what they're building might help something else that I have. Man, I don't know why my nose has gotten so itchy here. There you go, audience. Get to hear me blow my nose like a giant foghorn. So with the fork of ETH proof of work, we see a bunch of miners that don't want to let go of their business because they just got axed. They got fired. We no longer need your services. You have been replaced. They didn't like that, so they forked off a copy. They gave us all free coins. This is awesome, but yeah, where it comes back to spending the $50, sacrificing for something you believe in. Whether or not those chains die, I like spending money on Hex. And I'm thinking, where does my money have the most impact? Because I only have $50 a month that I can whip at something usually. So if I put that in on Fair or on proof of work, how does that benefit me? Why would I waste my money there if I think they're going to die? Well, fun fact in crypto community, you cannot buy advertising. You can't do it. Not in the mainstream media, not on the radio, which I'd love to be doing DJing on the radio talking crypto. Welcome to Pulse Night Radio XML5. So by going over there with $50, what do I accomplish if I think the chain's going to die? Well, such low liquidity pools. I could do something so interesting as to go in there, spend the $50 on the Hex, and then, or even just $40 on the Hex, and then that causes a green candle. That gets other investors to do other green candles and keeps it pumping, which keeps a whole lot of investors who didn't know about Hex curious about Hex. It's advertising. And then if I really believe in it and don't care about those gains, because I have Hex on those chains thanks to the free copy, and I can wait to see what happens to those values. But that $50, I could throw $40 of it paired with $10 of ETH or whatever the ratio will be. Well, I guess it'd be 25 to 25. What am I thinking? Pair the ratio and add to the liquidity pool. Reinforce its usefulness and see what kind of fees I gain from that mass volatility, if I were so inclined. I haven't. I really haven't, because I don't have the money to blow right now. I've already done my spending this month. I also went and got FOMO a little and aped in, and then my money got stuck in the ETH for 48 hours. And I was like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. It's giving me a time to reconsider and reposition how I'm feeling. I mean, am I really ready to go open another wallet? Do I really want to go mucking around doing all this stuff? I mean, I'm very capable of it, but I don't know how much I'm actually going to earn. I don't know if the chain will be sustainable. And I don't really have the money to do it. But if I did have the money to do it, I think I would. Not massively. Like I don't really have a lot of spare money each month. So what am I going to do with $50? But I mean, if I had more like 200, 300 spare dollars each month, I think it might be a little more interesting and a little more enticing for me to go in there and attempt these things. To say, hey, you know what? I believe on Hex on this chain. And I just like making it look better on this chain, making it look juicier and attracting all these people who can now see this running that never knew about it before. I think that's awesome, even if the chain dies. So at some point, if I had the money, I'd like to, but nothing I'd ape into. This is not causing me to go crazy because, again, you have, 10% of the miners according to Crypto Coffee. You've got a slower hash rate, and they're basically scraping by with their hats out going, please buy our ETH so we can pay our power bill. And they do not have the same formula as Bitcoin, but inherently, I'm not looking at the sustainable of the coins or them changing their rates there. I'm looking at the sustainable of the liquidity pools, because you have to be buying as much as they're selling and more for the price to go up. So you have to look at their sell pressure, which is all of their external costs to run the network. and who wants to go build there, how much forethought that they put into it. Is there anywhere near the consideration of forethought that Richard Hart put into Pulse Chain? No. World's biggest airdrop, world's biggest drop. I mean, what good are the coins if there's no liquidity? I mean, when it dropped, thank you, I didn't even have $1 of exit liquidity on that entire chain for all the assets I hold on Ethereum. What an airdrop. Now, I'm not saying that my assets are going to be worth amazing amounts of money because everyone's going to be spinning the dial pre-bridge on Paul's chain. But when it gets value, I have a funny feeling that Richard will have made sure there's a more sustainable liquidity pool and more backing, and that will grow and amplify a lot faster than this thrown together Ethereum proof of work fork. So although it's interesting to watch it go, and it has been some really, really good info. Yeah, ETHW info would be good. I've been looking at those trading ratios. I watched it, pretty much confirmed every way I thought that the bridge was gonna, or that the Pulse chain might function pre-bridge. So I have been really excited to actually see what we're gonna get on Pulse chain, and I think we're getting a lot closer now that this is getting out of the way. We're getting a lot more data. We're going to see what happens, and we're going to hit a market bottom, and programmers are going to finish with Pulse chain. I'm glad that my sacrifice is value locked. It is absolutely value locked, and that is awesome. Hey, Doorman, thank you. Thank you. Love from around the world. Shout out to Pakistan. Anybody who's tuning in. And Crypto Freedom. Hey, man. What's up, fellow Canadian? Yeah. Pulse X to the moon. Yeah, I've seen you comment on my stuff here and there, but I've got a... Do you actually have a channel or any content? I see you post occasionally. I wish sometimes, see, I love my day job because it keeps me active and it still gives me time to think about crypto. But I don't get as much time off as I'd like to do research about crypto because there is so much still going on in this space that I cannot keep up on. It is really true. So I have to rely on others. Luckily, there's a good network of good information in the Hexagon community. So between a lot of people, we're getting a good aspect on a lot of things. So with Eth Fork, yeah, it's some fun if you're bored and you've got money to blow. But we're heading into a world recession. And do people really have money to blow? This is my other big concern. Powell has to create a recession in the US, which is creating a worldwide recession. Anybody thinks things aren't bad, check out the inflation in Argentina or Turkey or Venezuela. Go ahead. Don't make me Google that stuff and put it on air. So saving money and using it where it counts, making sure that we have maximum impact and that we have our assets that we want locked onto, I think is really important. Because as this yank happens and the big blue chips fall, Tesla and Apple, that's where we're going to see the pain really yank through the SPX and the NASDAQ. And we're going to see it yank to Bitcoin. And that's where we'll see the panic in Ethereum. And we'll see, because Johnny Chaos got really, really gallsy, and he called the bottom in Hex. See, I called 2.9 cents as a tradable bottom back in June. I believed it. And I also believed we needed to double test that bottom, which we've done. Why am I not as excited? Well, in my grand thesis, what I wanted to see was Apple and Tesla crashing down towards $100 a share, losing massive amounts, and Hex double bottoming at 2.9 cents. I wanted to see Hex slamming on the brakes the same way it did the first time. Like it just skied right into a tree, stopped, no further price here, while the rest of the market just keeps going downhill in a fiery wreck. Hex will find some ground because it's starting to look like it's trading. The correlation might be breaking. It's getting a little bit of more interesting action. And I mean, Hex on the Ethereum chain is the one that's getting forked. So it's at a 95% discount. 95% down from its all-time high, which means just to get back to its all-time high means a 20x. And it's going back to its all-time high. HITs are actually something that we can talk about in this environment. Hex Investment Trust, bringing the equivalent of grayscale to Hex. I didn't know if it was publicly talkable about enough, but I'm not really a public man. So this little back corner can hear about it. Hex Investment Trust is literally the exact copy of the grayscale contract. So it is 100% legal. You do currently have to be an accredited investor. Wow. Man, I do not know why I have some sort of allergy to something. I'm going to have to get some Benadryl. It is that season, fall. Ragweed or something. Anyways, I'm going to mute myself and blow my nose and then try and get back on topic. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. I was standing drywall yesterday and I forgot my mask. That's drywall that came out of my nose. Not full sheets. I didn't get that much. Oh, yeah. All right. Back on. Where was I? I was ranting, continuing to rant about proof of work. Oh, man, I lost my place. You guys even listening? Do you even care about all my ranting? My itchy nose keeps distracting me. Nope, not a streamer. Just take a Lord Hicks pulse. Loan up. All right. I am glad you support all these things. I'm glad you support me. I definitely see all the likes, and I love you guys actually showing up. Like, I got 12 of you. I'm very, very happy to have you. Oh, 11. Every time I say that, I lose someone. Oh, yeah, so I was on a good rant, I think, before my nose started really itching out. Sum it up all, though. The Ethereum Fork, it's happened. It's not going to be Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain has a lot more improvements, a lot more thought to it. I am glad, though, I will talk that Proof of Work got rid of one of the protocols. Oh, so bad with names. I have not memorized this one yet. I want to say IE5. I could be wrong there, but they got rid of one of the protocols so that end staking for Hex, if proof of work survives for any length of time, will actually be cheaper. That's awesome if it actually lasts the 15 years. I am not excited to try and keep it alive, though. If other people come to it and want to keep it alive, awesome. But I'm not inspired to do it because, I mean, how many different chains do we need to run Hex? As far as I'm concerned, Ethereum, where it was born, and Pulse Chain, where it's going to be cheap, where the network is built for Hex, is where we should be throwing most of our economic energy. So again, the advertising that we cannot buy. Like, if you have ever wanted to try and host a commercial, or you've ever tried to buy advertising and you haven't been able to for Hex or promote it, okay, well, yeah, you could buy a little bit of proof of work ETH and trade it in for some Hex, get a green candle there, provide some liquidity, make the pool bigger, make it more attractive, try and see if the chain will sustain. But when we're heading into heavy economic pressure because of inflation, where we've got to quash the market and bring in a recession, how many people can afford to keep the lights on for the Ethereum miners? And the main network supported by Vitalik and his devs is already on. Oh, you guys just want the PulseX price prediction math, do you? Maybe. If I get a few more requests, I might just do the crystal ball. But no guarantees on that. Let's see what else we got here. Good to see you live, Top Gun. White dude without glass, or white dude with glasses. Gotta go, but I'll be sure to watch the replay. All right. Well, at least I know some of the people that are tuning out actually intend to keep back and watch. That's so nice. So nice. All the love, guys. No, it amazes me that in a bear market where everybody is probably out at a bar drinking because they're looking at their portfolio going, I'm doomed, my wife is going to divorce me, I better get drunk. And some of you have chosen to turn into my channel because there is hope. There is the chance that Hex is double bottomed. Oh, that's where I was going, talking about Hex prices. There is a chance that Hex is double bottomed because it all comes down to the Hex stakes and the diamond hands. At what point does the market really say, you know what, I don't think Hex will be any cheaper. I'm not willing to sell here. It's a smaller community, a smaller pool than Ethereum. There's no institutional money really in it. However, there's the Hex investment trusts. There may be a few accredited investors involved in it, but you have to have $1 million worth of assets to be an accredited investor. So it's not exactly retail available yet, but there may be a few people already in it. So institutional money, first time getting its access. So whereas these other assets are linked, and I believe, well, the institution money will panic out and deleverage with everything else, which is why the pain will be felt all the way through. Hex doesn't have that pain to feel yet, like Bitcoin has held out previously before institutional money was in, when market panics would happen. So I am more optimistic for Hex. I still realize the potential that we may have to triple test this bottom, because when Bitcoin goes down its final leg to 11K and pray, it's going to scare a lot through the system. And that's where I want to see the resilience of Hex. I have faith that when that happens, Hex will show some resilience, and that will show us the absolute bottom buy signal of Hex. Because if it is resilient and barely drops 1% while Bitcoin loses like 20 in a single day, that's a pretty good indicator that she ain't falling no more. She's done. She's getting back up. Watch out. Time for moon, except not. This is where I have my own beliefs where, hey, the hopium is, yeah, it'll go up. But I think crypto might start to look more like the stock market, 10%, 50% a year kind of gains for a little while the stock market looks like 0% gains and complete sideways action, maybe 1% gains, while we climb out of the recession for a little while. But when the bull run comes, it'll be epic. And I'm really excited for what Pulse Chain will do. I still am, because there's a lot of wealth backed around the excitement of that beyond just retail investing. There's a lot of utility, and with that institutional money, like, there are a lot of smart investors that probably got tips from Aladdin BlackRock in December and November to sell the top, to take out money and set it aside. What for? Not just so it didn't lose anything while assets went down, but so they had money to buy up assets again for cheaper when it was done falling. That's generally how they play the market, the whale puppamentals, the Ponzi system of the stock market. Pump it up, dump it, shake out all your retail investors and scoop it back up. It works out quite well for them. Even when things are crashing, it's a good thing for them. It still ends up, the oligarchy gets rich off that. And I'm hopeful that crypto as a free market can get us free of that. So yes, I call out shorts on Apple, which I should gloat about. Man, I am doing good on that. And my only reason is, you know what? I don't even want to short crypto. It's too volatile, too chaotic, in my opinion. Apple has a very distinguished micro trend, macro trend, which I have identified because it's affecting everything else. So yeah, shorting that, I wish I had the money to do that. And then I'd take their money and buy crypto with it. That's my thesis. Short the stock market, take their money and buy crypto with it, because they're going to be turning around buying crypto with it too. Jamie Dimon, whatever he says in public, you should almost literally believe the opposite of it. What he says to his private investors is completely different. Mr. Dimon comes out and says, crypto is a Ponzi, it's a scam. Really, Mr. Morgan, your whole bank pretty much owns the Federal Reserve and runs the Central Metals Exchange and manipulates the prices of gold, but crypto is a Ponzi, decentralized, Byzantine general problem solved goodness, and it's a Ponzi. Meanwhile, JP Morgan, Mr. Diamond, Kraken he was signing deals with, and somebody else he turned around where he is basically buying up crypto access. Gee, scare everyone out of the way, make it cheaper, and then buy it. No way Mr. Diamond wouldn't be completely honest to the general public. Oh my. All right. This might be a short live stream, guys. I enjoy the turnout. I love seeing that you guys have gotten up to as high as 15. Like, thank you for tuning in. But I think everyone's busy. Everyone must literally be out drinking. And I am not prepared with a lot of content. I just want to let people know I have not left this bear market. I am still buying particular assets at particular times in this bear market. Right now, I do like the price of Hex. Not enough to ape in to try and transfer any savings into it, but enough for $50 a month. And yes, I do like my other asset, which I talk about all the time. So I'm going to stop talking about it. See if that'll bring him onto my channel. Because I figured out, there's a way to summon me and my mystical animal. But you just have to say my name 3 times on someone's live stream. Then I will do a live stream. Wah. Careful about saying my name aloud. I may appear. Thank you for tuning in, guys. It's been a nice little short live stream, but I am not in the mood to be pumped for price predictions at the moment. This is not the day or the night to be going, look, everything's going to be great. I mean, pretty much I put out a tweet which said, today's heat map analysis, and I just took a picture of a red square and sent it out. Like that sums it up. Other traders are like, call your mom, call your grandma, call your second cousin, call everyone. Panic in the streets, and it's not done. The final leg is coming down, so everything's really scary, but I'm finding more and more hope, because if you've been listening to my channel, if you've been watching me, I've been talking about this all year, waiting for the stock market to come down since I noticed the correlation to figure out what was going on. And yes, I was too optimistic about Hex, but I've learned my lesson there, and yeah, I got full bear mode. Rawr! And I still love Hex. I still DCing in on the dips. And bear mode is about to end. And now in the fact that when I am talking about cycles that are going months and years at a time, when I say about to end, that means I'm hoping by Q1 that it's going to be fixie time, and that bull runs will be starting before that, even in Q4. After we see the major pain, there'll be maybe some optimism some other places. There'll still be some money floating around the system. Hopefully inflation will be a lot more under control, and the Fed will be in a better position to pivot. Unless they are not in any position to pivot, and Powell will crush the economy. He has sent the message: stop buying stocks, stop buying crypto. Well, guess what? I'm still going to keep DCing into crypto because nobody notices my buys. I'm a poor pleb. But the big money, it's getting smacked around until inflation gets under control, until there is basically a little bit of a deleveraging. It's that simple. So, yeah, I'm not going to go all in on a lot of other projects talking about them unless they provide real utility to the system. And thank you, Proof of Work, for bringing Hex. Hex has real utility, but it doesn't bring real utility to me. Pulse Chain brings real utility to me. And Pulsac says, hello, Adrian and fam. Welcome, Paul. All right. Yeah. Smash that like button and subscribe. Show your support, I suppose. I don't know. I like being crypto's best kept secret. There's not a lot of pressure when I've got a small room in front of me. It's like, okay. If I came on here and that number had like 2 more zeros behind it, even like 1K people actually listening to me live, I might be actually really nervous about what I say. I don't know. Never had that kind of attention. So I am happy with this level of attention. I don't do this for the likes and subscribes. I drop the information for the community. And I know there are certain people in this community that listen to me occasionally because they know I've got some skills on math. And I'm sure I get ignored about some things because I'm still green behind the ears. I do not have everything correct. I definitely get my information from fortune cookies and mountain goats. Be very careful. I am not a financial advisor. I just share what I learn with a little bit of perspective, what I'm thinking. And I'm glad you guys enjoy the content. So thanks for tuning in. We're going to end this live stream early because no one's really hopped on. Maybe if I get bored tonight, I will do a Twitter space. You guys can engage with me on a more vocal level. Wahahaha. Also in the description for this video should be the How to Pulse link, which will include Twitter. So you can find me there if you'd like to come in and troll with me later and actually talk with me. Thanks for stopping in to listen to me talk for a bit. The engagement was so low, though, I may wait and come back for popular demand because I get a lot of views when I have a good epiphany, when I'm like, here is some math, like the endpoint of Bitcoin, or the Pulse X buy and burn, or we'll be coming out with the IM buy and burn. I can do buy and burn mechanics for any project very easily. If you're willing to do that, I can also look at other ways the math goes through. I just not sure what epiphanies people want to see. Usually math is very boring to everyone, and I don't have epiphanies every day. So you guys got to actually engage with me. Ask for content, ask for my opinion on things. It'll get me researching, it'll get me looking, and it'll get me talking on it. I love to engage. People ask, but I need input. I really do, because I'm not sure how to structure these with the best content. And I don't want to just be pumping out episode after episode excuse me, after episode without having anything actually real to say. So really, I mean, as I've gotten out there with the community, a lot of people don't know who I am, but they're starting to pay attention. And I like what Mark Twain said, because I listen to some people try and pour the truth down people's throats so badly. Yes, rock star energy. Mine's bigger. Some people try to get out there with their message so strongly that they're abrasive, I think. They don't realize they're almost pushing people away, trying to get them to wake up so badly. And one thing Mark Twain said was, it's easier to fool someone than to convince them they've been fooled. And to quote Basic Instinct, the art of creating a believable story requires the suspension of disbelief. So, I mean, a lot of people go and try and force facts down people's throat, and I have to even be careful about how I do that occasionally. So, when I get into a community, like I joked about earlier, you know, sometimes it's better to just play dumb, let people underestimate you. So I'm new to the space, so half the questions I ask when I hop in Twitter spaces, I genuinely want to know the answer to. The other half of the questions I ask, I'm already pretty sure I have the answer to, or formulated an answer, and I want to know what these people are going to say, because that gives me a chance to learn more about them. Also, I want at that point possibly to guide the conversation, leading the witness. It's funny what you can do with a properly asked question that a statement can never do. Sometimes it's the question that gets people to wake up. So rather than force feeding them everything, it is important to get them to do their own research. So my real debate for creating content is, how do I get people asking questions? It's usually what I'm trying to do. Get you guys to learn, flex those critical thinking muscles. All right, liquidity pool master genius Richard Hart. Tell us what you know. Well, I'm not Richard Hart. I am Top Gun. I know that liquidity is fun. Fun with numbers, folks. I know that I gave my liquidity providing calculator, in some aspect of my liquidity math on Excel sheets that's accessible on howtopulse.com. It finally made it there. I have suspicions. So, all right, let's talk about Pulse Chain pre-bridge. You want to talk about liquidity? Talk about what I know? Let's look at what happened to Ethereum. So Ethereum was your only liquidity point. It was your way of getting out on exchanges to turn your crypto into actual dollars when proof of work forked. All stablecoins became worthless. The oracle was no longer pegged. The coins were no longer backed. So everyone sold their coins for ETH, aka Pulse on Pulse Chain. This immediately made its price seem to go up, but it did not touch its price on the central exchange. So pre-bridge, it won't matter. If there's no price, it wouldn't have been affected anyway. We'll see the ditching of all stablecoins that haven't been ditched, because we've already seen that. Excellent. And then what else will we see? Well, we will see some people aping out of other altcoins into Pulse Chain. However, X may not see such an exodus, which was interesting to see because it all of a sudden got a higher entry point being so cheap. But that pre-bridge, this is what's so interesting. If enough people have actually gone ahead and bought Hex for the purpose of trading for Pulse, well, that won't really increase the price of Pulse on the central exchange when it opens, but it will decrease the ratio price of Hex. So whenever it does get that price, if people swap their copies for Pulse, we'll have discount Hex available, which will likely surge. Oh, isn't that cool? So we can assume that most altcoins will do exactly what the stables did on ETH. We can even start to speculate that Hex may not be one of those coins. It may do it pre-bridge, but as soon as that value is there on the liquidity, I have a funny feeling that a lot of money sitting on the sidelines will be going in to get that Pulse and that Hex. So it will be the battle of in versus out. And I think there's a lot more in pressure waiting for Pulse Chain than there was going anywhere near through Ethereum proof of work. So watching the liquidity balance out in Ethereum proof of work gives me a good idea that pretty much every single altcoin will end up devalued and will be able to be scooped up for pennies on the dollar, if not cheaper than their Ethereum counterpoints as Pulse Chain's value starts to increase. So it will be a huge altcoin season of speculation available on Pulse Chain for anyone that wants to come participate. And by those values getting ratcheted down, anyone who's waited for the liquidity to come on, who hasn't gotten in there to transact, well, they'll just have to wait for the value to come back to their altcoins before they try to trade out and take their liquidity, I think. So I'm starting to see a very interesting picture point out for the short-term values inside the system. And no matter what, Pulse Chain is going to launch with whatever value it's going to launch on the central exchange. And so when the bridge pairs in and when the central exchange launches, that's when we're going to see the real action, and the amount of liquidity provided is going to show the credibility of the network, I believe. So that's what I think. I don't know anything. I get my information from a magic 8-ball. Darius, I like your math. Thanks for your hard work. My pleasure, Darius. I appreciate anyone that actually enjoys my overthinking. Most people are just like, oh, would you shut up? I'm so bored. And you guys are just like, no, give us more. Give us more. All right, what do you think about ETHW and ETHF? Will it go down? Will it go down? So interestingly enough, I could share my screen, or everyone, yeah, on YouTube, it would work better if I shared my screen. Why don't we? Why don't I do a share screen? All right. Share. Now you can see my StreamYard. Hoorah! All right, here is the ETH chart. So let's have a look over in the traditional market. Oh, Hex kind of held its own. Crypto is kind of balanced out for the moment after being so scared today. That's interesting. Oh, it's because Apple closed on its critical support of 150 again. Here's the short positions. Pretty much every single one of these short positions is in profit at the close today. Oh, wow. Wow. How much opportunity given there. So the market is taking a lot of pain, and all through that pain, through the day, I watched Ethereum still trade upwards somewhat. So proof of work is struggling along. Proof of fair compared to proof of work is an absolute joke. So I'm looking at proof of work to see if it survives. If it does, if it starts showing credibility, then I'll look to fair. But for now, fair is an extra afterthought. So proof of work is the only one I'm looking at that I really, really care about. And watching the hex price do these green candles all over. They can see it on Uniswaps and DEXs when they're looking that Hex is now the #1 coin on those networks. Man, you cannot buy that kind of advertising. That's what I think about ETH Fair and ETH Proof of Work. We have a huge dip here. The market has not had full capitulation. If we were there, I'd say immediately doomed. But we have not had full market capitulation. So Ethereum could fight and struggle to actually try and get back above its opening price at $30 a coin. If it can do that, it has hope. That's a lot of questionability that I don't want to be aping any serious money into. But, you know, I could take this girl on a date and buy her drinks for $50 all night and then find out that I didn't have fun and I don't want to see her again. Or I could spend that $50 on this with about the same expectation of long-lasting value, except buying some of this. Oh yeah, I was going to stock up on Ethereum so I could end these stakes just in case. But yeah, getting rid of the protocol that makes Hex extra costly for gas and stake, very beneficial to us. Like, good move. That's at least a little helpful. And I love seeing those green wicks on Hex. Like this advertising you cannot buy, except you can buy a little Ethereum and then you can trade it for Hex, and that adds to the green wick, and that is just amazing. I mean, it literally was at 10% of the value of Hex. The liquidity is a joke, which is where I'd say, hey, if you actually want to make a statement, if you're doing this for the advertising to help get someone's attention, so maybe the onboard to Hex in the real Ethereum, the proof of stake, and get their copy over on Pulse Chain and do something smart, if that's your end goal, that's altruistic, I support it. I vote for it. If you are just buying this to get some poor pleb's attention so they actually come and buy Hex on a real chain that matters, like Pulse Chain or Ethereum Proof of Stake, awesome. Awesome if you are helping to teach the community, the world, about Hex by giving it cheap green candles. Look at you go. Oh, you just bought $53 worth. Who's listening to me? I know someone just did this. Thank you for $50 in a movie. Now that's the way to get it done. All right? Dinner and a movie. That makes a statement. That adds to the green candle. And this keeps a whole lot of plebs going, what's Hex? And so this means that a proof of work is great interim advertising while we wait for Pulse Chain. Could it last? Yes. Could it fail? I think so. How long will it last? There's the question. I have no clue. But do I think Pulse Chain will kill Ethereum Proof of Stake? No. Do I think Pulse Chain could kill Ethereum Proof of Work? Who knows? It could go on the border with Ethereum Classic and just barely run as a skeleton chain that nobody new comes and builds on. Or could die out completely. All depends on whether they can get enough money in this Ethereum to keep their power bills on. Because although we're paying for the advertising, We're not just donating so they can keep their lights on. For us, we're buying advertising they can't buy elsewhere. For them, they get to take our advertising money and use it to keep their lights on. So, will enough Hexicans continue to advertise on proof of work to give it value, just to keep those green candles wicking and get people's attention? There's my basis of a theory so far for that. So, all right. Pew pew. Hello, Tortoise Johnny. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right. Priceless answers. Ooh, glad you think they're priceless. Give it, because I'm not the price guy. I'm staying away from price. And then I talk price all day long. What's your top 5 pulse chain products for non-Richard Hart? Now there's a good question I love. All right, we got liquid loans, bringing in a loan protocol so you never have to sell your pulse, and possibly other ones if it's successful. We've got internet money, bringing you a wallet that'll be nice and easy to use, that'll be available to get you away from JP Morgan and MetaMask. We've got Power City, bringing us the core and node services and other things to attract DENs back to the chain. We've got Mintra, where Gerardo has done very good with the marketing because he got the attention of Rick and Morty. All right, Rick and Morty is going to do an episode about Richard Hart and Pulse Chain and release NFTs on Mintra. Way to get it done, guys. Way to get it done. And then Fiat. Again, this is for utility. Fiat brings us leveraging. Don't leverage. Don't. But some people are going to want to. I might. I mean, it would have been so nice to be able to short Apple. To have that option. I would not make a life or career out of it. But while I'm trying to figure out what all my crypto is going down, and I notice, Wall Street, you're totally boned, and I could take advantage of it. If only I had the money to open a put or leverageable assets so I could properly open a short, because that is what I want more than a put. I don't even want to play games with the options maker. I just want to open a long short, and that I need margin trading, and I need leverage, and I need protocol like Fiat. Now, Fiat won't let me short Apple, unfortunately. But point is, these are the kind of utilities that when you're building a brand new financial system to replace a brand new free market that actually works, you need to have those options available for the people that want to utilize them, that do know how to utilize them. Well, most people will try and get wrecked, and that'll help the people that do know to get awesomely loaded up. But, I should stop sharing the screen there. It'll help people to get awesomely loaded up, but it is dangerous. A lot of investing, day trading, is very, very dangerous. I've admitted that I took a pie in the face trying to short Apple too early. And then I got close again, getting greedy when I was like, all right, 2 shorts closed, massive book profits, just open another one now. It doesn't matter. Didn't think about calling out a stop loss. It's back in profit today, but that's a week later. So if somebody were, say, to open up a put instead of a short, well, then you would have had to actually put expiration dates. You would have to put ranges on that equation to make a whole butterfly equation. And that's kind of complicated, and that would have backfired because the market maker loves to squeeze those things. So that's part of the volatility between then and now that you get to see, that I'm learning about the actual financial markets. It's so amazing how that stuff is linked and manipulated once you actually start to wake up. It is what it is. And finally understand how it works. I was disingenuous in the 90s, late 90s. I was more of one of those Fight Clubs crowd. Definitely a Tyler Durden hero kind of guy. And I bring my inner Tyler Durden to help you guys make soap every week. So I'm glad I could come here and talk to you guys and give you a little bit of hopium, because all of this going on, when we're building a new financial system, we're getting closer to launch. The bottom's getting closer to in. Smart people have been saving up money and DCAing in where you're already near a bottom on assets, but moving your risk tolerance around, trying to do what decisions are best for you, watching me think out loud about what I'm seeing, and hopefully listening to more people than just I, as other people. I constantly have to revamp my perspective just a little bit when somebody makes some remark or a comment, and I'm like, I didn't think of that. I love the what if game. Let me go answer that question. And that's usually when I get an epiphany to come bring to you guys, because I went and did something that nobody ever does. I looked like Michael Burry. Cassandra on Twitter, shout out, dude. Love The Big Short. You guys know that. I yell it out all the time. Great lessons there. All right, we got another question from Darius. How to cash out profits from Pulse Chain. Sell Pulse for what? There won't be any stable coins. Dun, dun, dun. Well, pre-bridge, you can't. But within 24 to 48 hours, as soon as the bridge opens up, you'll be able to use the bridge right on pulsechain.com to get value in and out of Ethereum chain to Pulse Chain. Wow. And then one of the central exchanges is very likely to start carrying it and selling it. And that means you'll be able to go directly to fiat with your Pulse if you don't want to use the bridge. So we will have options. Maybe I should do a screen share and show at least one of those options. I do not talk about it anywhere enough. So let's go ahead and do a screen share and show. All right. So again, to reiterate, we will go and replace. We'll just open a new tab here. All right. Boom. I was going to Google something. Wow, that just shows you guys how on point I am today. Oh, yeah, Pulse Chain. That's right. All right. PulseChain.com. Could it be that simple? It's that simple. You just click on PulseChain.com. Then look at these links right here. There's one labeled bridge. It couldn't be that simple, could it? It could. You just click on the one that says bridge. And then you can connect your wallet. Oh, look, I'm already connected. And then this is still set to test Pulse right now. So it's Rinkeby Network and Pulse Chain Testnet. This will be Ethereum Proof of Stake and Pulse Chain Mainnet. And you will be able to click this little dual arrow button along with switching network. Ta-da! Connect. There we go. And you can change direction, which direction you want to go, from Pulse Chain to Pulse Chain, or from Ethereum to Pulse Chain, or Pulse Chain to Ethereum. Oh, switch network. Ta-da! It's that simple. And it doesn't even have to be in Pulse. You can go straight from hex to hex on this bridge? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And actually, it looks like you just get sent to a wrapped version of it on this bridge. So yeah, there's no ability to, can't do the Pulse Chain for the hex, or the hex for the Pulse Chain, or vice versa. Like, it's hex to hex, Pulse to Ethereum, because they are basically the same, and any of the other of these. Let's see, USDC to USDC. Yeah. So you'll have to go in and use the DEX to change that after. And the DEX is PulseX, which you all should know by now. So again, PulseChain.com. And then here are RPC settings. Similar settings have been used on ETH Proof of Work. If you want to go play, open a brand new wallet, insulate yourself. Be careful so you don't have to worry about a replay attack. It should not affect a main wallet user. It's mostly for bridges, but there are first times for everything. So there are lots of ways to insulate yourself, and be careful. Also, Crypto Coffee had a good point. If you're going to play in multiple chains where you have the same asset on multiple chains, be sure which chain you're ending a stake on. Those transactions, there's no undoing them. So you better make sure which Ethereum chain you're on when you're trying that. Be very, very careful. We don't want you losing these things. So trading the DEX. So you can use the bridge to get in, and you can trade on this DEX. And then you can use the bridge to get out, and you can trade on Uniswap. This functions a lot like Uniswap, except we now have limit orders. Hoorah! We now have limit orders. Did I already make a limit order? It looks like I did. I must have already taught people. I was so excited. That's right. I did it during my live stream last day. Well, you guys have kept me going into an hour. Look at you guys keeping me going. All right. now. So basically, someone could bridge in wrapped USDC, and you could start trading for wrapped USDC from Ethereum. So there may be stable coins as soon as the bridge is open. It all comes to after the bridge. Before the bridge, I'm not going to be doing much of anything, honestly. I'm going to stake a couple things, verify I have my assets, and stake and chill. That's pretty much it. Decentralized X. I have not heard of Decentralized X yet, so I will have to do some research before I get any thoughts on that. I think we're all going to make out on Bandits for getting it on Pulse Chain so early. We are going to be doing great. Thank you, Richard. Yes, sir. Got my FOMO pants on and Hexologist. Love his comedy. I've been checking out more and more of it, but I've got to stop because I like to be funny sometimes. But then if I see him crack a funny, I'm going to want to crack the same funny, and then I'm just being a rip-off funny. And I got to make my own funnies, so you're going to do your own ha-has. And so I'm not just regurgitating the same stuff all over the place. So I'm not sure how much I'll watch him because I very much like his funny. So I got to crack some more of my own funnies and let my funnies slack. Great show, great content. Cheers from Croatia. Whoa, Croatia. Thank you. Check it out. I'm getting all over the place here. All my ducks are swimming in the water. Oh, man. Orca is wearing on me in the worst ways possible. Yes. Everyone pay your taxes. Canadian, American, you do not want to give the IRS or the CRA any ammunition to come after you. Make sure to be a good boy and pay your taxes. Everyone pay your taxes. I do not advocate the breaking of laws anywhere on this show. Also, I am not a financial advisor, which means you do not have to do what I tell you to. See, I cracked a funny. So that's my style. I sometimes think of other funnies in the shower, some other jokes. Or when I'm busy at work, I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be pretty funny. And then I just totally forget to even get around to it. It is what it is. I'm not really running. I don't know what kind of show this is. I give you guys information and crack the occasional joke. I think when I added too many jokes, it's like, cut off the antics. We just want to see your math. And it was just math. It was like, man, this is boring. So I think I'm finding a balance. I come at you and I just talk nice and calm, relax, and share my thoughts. I'm glad you guys tuned in. Thank you so much for being here and listening, enjoying the last hour of content. The questions pretty much dried up, and you can always find me on Twitter and hit me up with some ideas for next show. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you're still here. I guess that way you keep getting the content from me, but don't tell anyone about it. Don't be sharing this. This is just between me and you guys. Yeah, you guys. Don't be sharing this. Don't be. It's between you and me and you. All right? Shh. On the down low. Till next time, folks. Stay frosty. I got a good one for you. Top Gun here with you. You gotta learn to earn.
Big bass god on the blockchain.
Gotta learn to earn. Gotta learn to earn. Learn. Fun with numbers, folks. Fun with numbers, folks. Let's do some math. Swing trade and get you wrecked. Don't do it. Swing trade and get you wrecked. Don't do it. Gotta learn to earn. Gotta learn to earn. Let's check the crystal ball. Crystal ball. Let's check the crystal ball. I am not a financial advisor, but here's how I'm going to burn my money. Burn my money. Burn my money. I am not a financial advisor.